All right, what a week. Starting test prep phase two. Just means we have to get better, or get working on new routines and then get used to them. So I'll try to explain as much as I can on here. And yeah, let's get we're rocking and rolling. I'm gonna start putting a few jokes on the papers in class. So just kind of look forward to that. And if you not this homework and probably not the next homework, but if on problem set 3 or 4 you get like a mastery or advanced mastery score on it, then you are excused from the homework unless you want to do it because you're awesome. Either way, we're all doing this homework. So let's get started. Video. Okay. Okay. All right. So we are on. This is first problem set. Excuse me. Excuse me. So bizarre. First problem set out of 20, which means that it is 5 out of 100. What fraction is that? 5/100. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And over time, that'll grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. All right. Our work so far is creating a plan because we respond to the question that's asked in context with precise units. And in problem set 1, we went over what a milliliter is, and that 1,000 milliliters is equal to a liter. So our loadout is remembering that because that does not come on our reference sheet. And it is our job to know that if you have liters times 1,000 equals an equivalent amount of milliliters. And if you have milliliters divided by 1,000, that will give you liters. All right. Also millimeters, milligrams, also 1,000 of them. Millimeters equals 1 meter, equals the general unit in the middle. Okay. All right. So let's get working on the open task. All right, so there's 25 dancers in the performance group. This would be like a 4-point question on the state test. During practice, each dancer drinks 1.5 bottles. So we have 25 dancers, each have 1.5 bottles. You could also say that that's 1.5 or 1 5/10. That's in your loadout. It doesn't say that here. Okay, and each bottle is 500 milliliters. And then my answer has to be in liters. All right, in liters. Okay. All right, so let's check this out. First I need to find the number of bottles. This is my plan. Then it'll tell me the number of milliliters if I multiply by 100, and then I can finally convert it into liters. All right, so let's find the number of bottles first. I have 25 dancers times 1.5. Okay, that equals 25 times 1 plus or and 25 times a half. 25 times 1 is 25 plus, this is going to be 12.5 or 12 and 5/10. Okay, so then all together, that's going to be 37.5. So I have 37.5 bottles. So that is now 1 point of my answer. Now my 37.5 bottles times 500 each equals the number of milliliters. So if I have 37 and I'm just blocking this off, 37.5, I'm going to put it into a decimal form now. And then I'm going to multiply it by 5. And then at the end, I'm going to multiply it by 100 because it's easier to do one digit at a time. All right. So 5 to 5 is 25, 35, 36, 37, 15, 16, 17, 18. And I have 1/10 is, and then I'm multiplying by 100, which means my digits shift boom, boom. And I'm going to have 1,875 wait, 750 milliliters. Okay. So that's gonna, let me just rewrite it. 18750 milliliters. So it's 18,750 milliliters. All right. Now I can divide that by 1,000 to get to liters. So if I divide that by 1,000, I'm moving it to the right. 1 space, 2 space, 3 spaces. So that's going to go from 18,000 to 18 and 750 thousandth is, or 75 hundredths. Okay, it's not a lot of space here. Yikes. So now I'm just going to go back up and fill in the information in my plan, and I'm going to write dancers drink, and I'm going to circle it so it's easier for my teacher to see. All right, so I have 18,750 milliliters, 750 milliliters, and I divide that by 1,000, so I get 18.75, and that's what my dancers drink. It's 37 bottles. Answering dancers drink, that's 1 point. 18.75 is another point. 18,750, that's the third point, and then the fourth point was the number of bottles. All from my loadout, like in my head, because I had to multiply with fractions. That's something that the problem didn't tell me. I had to do it. All right. Next, complete the following table. Knowing that 1,000 milliliters equals 1 liter. If I have 5 liters, I have 5,000. If I have 6 3/10 times 1,000, I have 6,300 times 1,000. I have 950. This is 100 times 1,000. That's going to be 100,000. Okay. Now I'm dividing by 1,000. So I'm getting rid of 3s. So that's going to be 800 liters. This is 1 million, but I'm dividing by 1,000. So I'm just going to get 1,000 milliliters. And then this is 65 divided by 1,000 is going to give me 0.065 thousandth is. That's how that works, right? 65 thousandth is. Okay. Now we're going back to our last problem. And this is part B of the opening task. All right. So now I have coolers. Coolers hold 15 liters of water in the cooler. How many coolers did the team need? Well, if the team needs 18.75 liters, they will need 2 coolers, because 1 cooler is only 15 liters. Okay. How much water will be left over? All right. So now I'm going to have 2 liters, 2 coolers equals 15 liters times 2. So that's 30 liters minus what the team drank, which we have over here from earlier, 18.75 hundredths liters. And I'm going to have to put zeros here. And now it's a new skill that I had to learn in 5th grade, subtracting with decimals. 2, that becomes 10 ones, 9 ones. I'm borrowing. That becomes 9 tenths to get 10 hundredths. So I have 5 left, 2 decimal point 1 1. There's 11 and 25 hundredths liters of water remaining. Okay. And this is another 3-point question. I have answering about the 2 points. Answering about the 2 coolers needed. So that was 1 answer. And then the second answer would be 11 and 25 hundredths. All right, that was kind of fun. I think I'm still going here. Yep. Oh, the dancers. They still have a sports drink by mixing 30 milliliters of drink mix with each of the 500 milliliters of water. Oh, yeah. How many liters of drink mix do they need? Oh my gosh. All right. This is a lot here. All right, so drinks mix by mixing this with each of the 500 milliliters. So they had 18,750 milliliters. I got that from the beginning. And that was from 37 and a half bottles, right? Each bottle was 500 milliliters. So, okay, with 500 milliliters in each bottle, right? That was from the original problem. So now I know that for every 500 milliliters, that means for every bottle, 37 bottles equals 30 milliliters times 37 of the drink mix. Okay. And then I'm going to deal with the half in a second. And 1/2 equals 30 milliliters times 1/2 for the drink mix. So I have 37 times 3, and then I'll do times 10 later. 21, 9, 10, 11, right? 21, 9, 10, 11 times 10 would equal 1110 milliliters of mix plus this is 15 milliliters because it's 30 divided by 2 plus 15 milliliters of mix, and that equals 1125 milliliters of mix. And now they're asking us again how many liters of mix that is. So if I have 1,125 milliliters of mix into how many liters of mix, I'm dividing by 1,000. I'm going to have 1.125 liters of mix because I'm moving everything to the right 3 spaces, right? There's my decimal starts there and I'm moving it to 3 spaces. So it becomes out of 1,000. Okay. So the team needs, my goodness, 1.125 liters of mix for the bottles. All right, so this is a pretty detailed problem. Think it through, maybe watch it again so that you can, kind of see it predicted ahead of time, how I'm like thinking about what I'm ending with and what I need to get there, right? That's definitely something you got to carry with you. All right, Tanya, she's got 12 water bottles. Of those bottles, 5, so we have 12. 5 have 300 milliliters and 7 have 1.5 liters. How much in milliliters does she buy? So this is 1,500 milliliters. And then this is times 1,000 to get to milliliters. And that would be another 1,500 milliliters. So altogether, that's 3,000 milliliters. Okay, so she buys. Oh, wait, that's the 5. But then I have to multiply this by, hold on, 5 at 300 and then 7 at this. So I have to multiply this by 7. See, we have this for one of them, but then I have 7 of them. So it's going to be 1,500 times 7, 0, 35, 7, 10. Wow. So it's going to be, 10,500 plus the 1,500, 1,500, 10, 2, 1. Okay. So she buys 12,000 milliliters. Okay. How much water in liters? Now I'm dividing that back up by 1,000 and I'm going to get 12 liters. Whew. This is a hard, tough problem, everybody, but you can do it. Here we go. All right, we got one more page, kiddos. Hang with me, predict, work ahead, whatever you need to do. All right, Sylvia filled a watering can with almost 3.5 liters of water. She used 400 milliliters to water her cactus and 150 milliliters to water her rose plant. What's the total amount of water remaining? Okay, cool. So I have 3 and 4,800 liters, and I want that as milliliters. All right, so I'm going to multiply by 1,000. So that's 3.4812. It's going to be 3,480 milliliters. Okay. And that's what we start with, starting in the container. Then I'm subtracting 40, 0, 4, 4, 3, 40. And then I'm subtracting 150. I get 9, 2, 3, and milliliters. And then it's probably, let's see, yeah, 3,290. Okay, that's how much is left. Yippee skippy. Okay, if I wanted that in liters, I would divide by 1,000, but I don't need that. So we're good here. All right. Complete each conversion by dragging. Ooh, 7 millimeters. This is a little bit different because 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. That's in my loadout. I'm really sorry about that, but it is 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 1,000 millimeters equals 1 meter. And then 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. I guess we can do it like a little bit lesson on this. It's definitely tricky and expected like in your loadout. So, all right. So if I have 7 millimeters, I'm going from the small unit to the big unit, right? I'm going to divide. When I'm going from the big unit to the small unit, I'm multiplying. And I like to think of that as like we're releasing all of the small little pieces. So this is the small to big unit. So I'm dividing 7 divided by 10. That's going to be 7/10. This one. Then I have 7 centimeters, again, going from smaller to larger. So I'm going to divide by 100. 7 divided by 100. It's going to be 0.07 meters. But then if I have 7 kilometers, I'm multiplying by 1,000. I have 7,000 meters. This is quite tricky. Yeah. All right. Which two conversions are correct? Back to the length. So if I have 7 millimeters, no way, because millimeters is smaller. 7 centimeters. Oh, I just found that. 7,000 meters. Yeah, that works. No, that would just be 7. 7/10 centimeters times 10 to millimeters. And then this, no, too small. So it would have been B and C because millimeters is smaller, 1 centimeter. So if you have 7 centimeters, oh wait, no, that can't be true. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Well, that should just be by 10 though, not 100. No, that's too big because kilometers is bigger. Kilometers is bigger. This one's definitely correct. Thinking through the last thing. Give me 1 second, everybody. If we have 7 centimeters, yeah, no, that's not correct. B, wrong, wrong, wrong. See, that's why you write it out because that wouldn't make any sense. All right, so if I have 7 centimeters, how many millimeters would that be? It'd actually be 700. It would be 700 millimeters. No, it would be 70. 70 millimeters. Because 10 millimeters is equal to a centimeter. Yeah, divide by 10, that can't be true. Centimeters, oh, to meter. Oh my God, dopey, dopey Dan. Yes, this is definitely correct. Look, this is why. 7 centimeters is going to meters. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So therefore, if you have less than 100, you're going to be in the hundredth place. So it's definitely B and C with, that's not millimeters, crazy pants. I'm so sorry. That is meters. All right, kiddos, you're awesome. Reflect, maybe watch a video again. I'm sure it was great. I'm just kidding. Love you to pieces. Have a good weekend.